will be analysing the different coaching approaches and philosophies used when the coaching different groups of performers. The two groups that will be looked at in detail will be coaching children and teams. When coaching their participants, all coaches will need to establish their aims, goals or targets that can be achieved from the session or curriculum. In order to do this, coaches will need to decide on the correct coaching style and approach to use. Also, the coach will need to have a certain policies and a philosophy when coaching children and teams. There are some similarities and differences that will be highlighted in this presentation. What is a coaching style? There are three different types of coaching style that I'll be covering. The first is autocratic. This is when the coach will take control of a session and be the most authoritative. The coach will have a do-as-I-say mentality. Next, there is democratic coaching style. This allows the participants to bring ideas to the session. The coach will outline and decide on initial ideas and aims of the session, and then ask the participants for ideas in which this can be achieved. Finally, there is laissez-faire. This coaching style means the participants will be left to their own accord. This is the most relaxed coaching style. McFadden states the use of appropriate teaching styles makes an important contribution to children's learning in physical education. Different teaching styles affect the many aspects of the teaching process, including the lesson's climate and the teacher's ability to meet the individual needs. This outlines the point that coaches will use a variety of these coaching styles depending on the situation. Coaches can use more than one style in a session if they feel a particular drill or circumstance arises in which the coaching style is needed to be changed. When coaching children, there will often be individual needs within the group. For example, some children may be less obedient, therefore using the laissez-faire approach may not always be the best option when handling with these individuals. Here is a short video of a coach using the autocratic style.
I need 5 players at that, 5 green at here, 5 orange there. Let's go. Pick up a ball, Jack. You need a ball. Tyler, you need a ball. Give Tyler a ball on his feet. This cone, boys. Okay, hit the cone. Let's go. Make it happen. Quickly, quickly. Let's go. Speedy. Go to goal. Give me a ball, Tyler. You need another ball, son. Go. Watch carefully now. Listen up. You listen with your eyes. I want to make sure you're watching me when I'm talking. Small field, 2 goals, 2 goalkeepers. We've got 2 teams. The object is quality finishing. We're going for accuracy over power, but it's got to be rapid. As soon as they go, the next 2 step up. Let me show you what we're going to do. Danny, come on up here. First guy, come up here, please. Pass the ball backwards and forwards. Bang, bang, bang. At the cone call, from the cone, son. There you go. Yes, just to the side of it, but the same distance. There you go. On my whistle, when I blow it, stop.
So, which coaching style is best? The coaching style that has often been found to be most effective when working with children is the democratic style. McFadden also states, indirect styles place emphasis on the cognitive domain, activate pupil involvement, and draw on the strengths of a children's imagination in the learning process. When the children are given the option to bring ideas to the session, they feel more involved and therefore can be more engaged. For example, it's been found that when children have been given the opportunity to create rules for a game or add tweaks on an already well-known activity, they are able to remember the rules a lot easier compared to a coach talking them through a long list of rules. I will now show you a short video of a coach using a democratic style and how this benefits the session.
Coaching styles and sessions. The FA suggests numerous styles of coaching, from the authoritarian style to democratic style, a technique of coaching that I adopt when coaching youngsters. Lots of questions asked that allow children to make their own decisions, a vital part of their footballing development. Right, I think we all agree that was quite a simple session. Yeah. So now what could we do to make it harder as a progression? What could we do?
We could make the gates more narrower so we can practice our accuracy.
He's got to be a more accurate pass.
Move the gates further apart.
Okay, so you're passing it a longer distance now, as well as it being...
Maybe not be as straight, maybe it could be like at an angle.
Alright, so in a match it's not always going to be in a straight...
The coach's approach. Language. A coach will have to adjust their vocabulary when coaching younger participants. Children are unique. Their growth and development are ongoing. They process information differently and use learning strategies that are different to those used by adults. Even the most experienced coach will find the communication with children a challenge. Stafford. Coaches will sometimes make the mistake of explaining drills to children in a manner in which they do not understand. This causes confusion and delays the session, as the coach will need to keep stopping the session when the participants aren't able to complete the drill or are doing it wrong. Inclusion. Including all participants within the children's sports sessions is vital. Sports Coach UK suggests that in coaching terms, an inclusive coach has the ability to positively and effectively coach a group of athletes who may have different needs. This is not specific to coaches working with disabled children, players and athletes. A good coach will always be working inclusively because they want everyone in their session to improve. Children need to be included in sessions in order to keep the motivation levels high within the group. Motivation is an important determinant of participant in sport. Quested then Duda. If a child feels as though the coach is not giving them the same opportunities as another, they will lose motivation and may not perform to the best of their ability. To avoid this, coaches can ask participants to assist in demonstrations in front of the group. This instills confidence in the player and a belief that they then have the opportunity to use their own ability to educate others within the group. Finally, there is empathy. When coaching children, a coach will have times in which they will need to show an element of sympathy towards the participants. When the participants reach an early teenage, puberty can often deter participants from taking part. Brewer states, children do not mature at even rates throughout their development. Some of the changes they go through are obvious and easy for coaches to measure. Others are less visible and require some consideration on behalf of the coach if the child's future potential is to flourish rather than be threatened by an inappropriate training volume or intensities. Often when dealing with situations such as this one, the coach will not tackle the problem during sessions, but often help by a quiet one-to-one chat away from the group. Coaches can also lower the intensity of training sessions if it has become apparent that the player will struggle to perform at their full potential. Philosophies for this age group. Coaching a child athlete or performer can be a very challenging task for a coach, as there are some slightly different responsibilities and roles in which to take on compared to when coaching an adult performer. When coaching children, it is important that the development and support is the number one focus. Richard Lawrence states, fun and enjoyment should be central concerns of the children and youth sports coaching. When coaching children of a younger age, it has been found that if the drills and sessions are too dull, children will lose interest and potentially start to misbehave, which then in turn can affect your whole session. For example, coaches will set a passing drill that means the children are standing waiting for others to have a turn before they get to pass the ball. This is a negative effect on children as the participants do not get as many opportunities to improve their skill, therefore can become frustrated. To avoid this when coaching, drills can be set that include all participants, and avoiding using drills that use cues can be beneficial. Every Child Matters. Every Child Matters is a UK government initiative for England and Wales. It was launched in 2003. It is one of the biggest policies or initiatives to children in the last 10 years. The main aims of Every Child Matters is for every child to be healthy, to be safe, enjoy and achieve, and make a positive contribution and be able to enjoy a degree of economic well-being. The Coaching practice should be based on these principles. This is because with these policies installed into a training session, it creates an environment that fosters achievement, according to Tefler and Brackenridge. Teams. When coaching teams, it is important to install a togetherness within the group of players. Team cohesion is an important factor when looking to gain success within a team. Similarly to coaching children, the session needs to have a feel-good factor, and coaches need to try and create a positive environment in which to succeed. To conclude, this presentation has demonstrated that although the three coaching styles that we're focused on have major differences and affect the session in different ways, a coach will need to use all three during their career, and often more than one in one session. Philosophies may also change when coaching children compared to teams, and vice versa.